Hi everybody, welcome back. I missed you guys. I truly I've been feeling the vibe, and it's fun because I've had some people reaching out. I've had some newbies reaching out and saying that I love hearing I found the podcast because that's like one of my biggest reasons for doing this is to find my tribe, my people, so that maybe in times to come and years to come when the shit's hitting the fan, we all have our Crusty Crystals group going. So we'll be able to navigate through, So anyway, that's what I'm loving the most. Really enjoying that. So thanks for being here. Thanks for getting me, and thanks for just joining the ride, Getting on the vibe. So let's start with our shiny crystal today. Well, let's start with this actually, because the garden, it's interesting because the garden, we've had freezing nights. It's December or whatever. So at this point, it's been freezing. So everyone's flowers in the town is dead, but my garden is still going. Not going. I've had to cut. So I thought it was going to be like a traumatic experience. All at once, I was going to wake up one day and they were just going to all be dead from the night and it was going to be over. No, it's really just a process. I still have little dwarf marigolds that are bright and reddish and yellow and thriving. And I planted those late during the marigold fiasco. And then I have my cosmos I have a few that are still hanging on, but I had to cut most of the marigolds, but it was okay, because I had the dwarf marigolds and I got my little grandmas going, the little white ones. I don't know what they're called though. They're kind of like the white thing, the little white flowers that you put in the bouquets. I don't know the name of them, but they've been there since the beginning. So they haven't gone anywhere. My little grandmas, I call them, because they've been there since the beginning. And so I'm thoroughly impressed that it's the first week of December and there's still life to them, because I have a rule that I'm not cutting while there's any still alive. So they only get cut when they're truly dead. And I want to give them, a dignified passing. I don't want them to be sitting there all chomped up and I'm just holding on no, when they're passed and I could tell it's obvious that they're done, they go. So I just cut them and I'm going to rip out all of them when they're all finally gone, but I don't want to rip out any and disturb the root system. So I just chop the ones that are done, and it has not been as bad as I thought, which leads me to another lesson in life that I've learned from this garden. Most of the time, the thing that we worry about the most, it's not as bad as we think about. We will always make it worse in our head than the actual situation at hand. I've truly realized this now. It will always be worse in our head, that even if it's bad, in real life, even if it's really bad, there are things that are just bad and just suck and aren't pleasant or fun, but they're never as bad as they are when you think about it in your head. That I know. So that's been a beautiful lesson. So yeah, I got to get better at posting the pictures and stories that I would talk about on the Crusty Crystals podcast Instagram or all social media. It's so gross because I sit there and I scroll and I let social media drain my, take from my dopamine. But I have to put more into it so at least I could utilize social media rather than let social media utilize me. Anyway, let's get on to our shiny crystal. So our shiny crystal, I chose heroes. Now, when I say heroes, I mean real life heroes, like firefighters, nurses, some doctors, most cops, I would say, animal rescuers, those are heroes. Those are people that you should take that job because you just love saving lives. For me, firefighters are the ultimate heroes because there's no power in it. With cops, there are people that become cops because they like the power and all that. So that's why it gets a little tricky. But with firefighters, they are full on, I'm just here to save fucking lives. To me, firefighter, it's mind blowing. And even nurses, I feel most nurses go into nursing because they just love nurturing or helping people. Whereas with doctors, Most of the time, doctors hopefully are doctors for that, but I feel like a lot of doctors are doctors for that coin, which isn't that great either, because you should be a doctor because first and foremost, you want to help people. But I don't find that to be the case a lot. But with nurses, I find most of them are like, they just want to help people, because you don't get as much money as you do as a nurse than a doctor. So doctors gets a little shisty in there too, just like with some cops. They join for the power, doctors join for that money. And animal rescuers, for me, animal rescuers are like up there with the firefighters, because animal rescuers, they're just doing it for the love of animals. Like where I got Truth in LA, it was 3 women. The place was called Bark and Bitches. They had this like storefront, Bark and Bitches, it was so cool. Like they would go around California and they would rescue all these dogs all over California, and they would bring them back to the storefront and they would adopt them out of there. They had product and stuff to sell, but, because they had to make their living, but they rescued all the dogs all over California, and they brought me my angel, my baby. So animal rescuers, especially Bark and Bitches. The girls at Bark and Bitches, love y'all so much. And just, the heroes. I mean, it takes a lot to want to be like, my dad was a cop. I believe my dad became a cop because he wanted to like get criminals off the street, and he wanted to help save people. So that's a good reason to become a cop. But yeah, firefighters, man, they get no glory. No glory. Firefighters, people, firefighters die in fires, breathing in smoke, fires, and you never really hear about it. So I want to give a shout out to the firefighters. I would love me a little firefighter husband. Oh, that would be I love a blue collar guy, but especially like a hero blue collar guy, like a firefighter. Oh my goodness. Just hose me down, Anyway, so love me a firefighter. I definitely would love me a gay or bisexual firefighter to bring into my life. So if any of you know any on Long Island or Queens, not looking to go into Manhattan, I'm down. What else did I want to say? And I also wanted to say too, because it's like, I respect heroes because like, I'll help like today. Like, okay, so the episode previous where I said the whole minding your business thing, that really is focused on like social media and people posting and cancel culture and all of that stuff. In real life, if you're seeing someone who needs help, like today, I came out of the bagel store and there was this woman trying, like on the floor kind of, or leaning down, and there was this other woman leaning, and I was like, are you guys okay? And the woman was like, oh, she dropped her earpiece underneath the car. So immediately I was like, oh, hold on. Got down, got under there, got the earbud for her. Let's go on with our day. So I'm definitely willing to help and get involved. But for me, the mind your business thing is about the internet, cancel culture. I just saw this post today where this woman was like crying on the plane. Apparently she was so insulted because some guy was texting with his friend or wife, and he was saying something. The woman, I guess, I don't know if she was like large or overweight, and he was saying some like mean comments on text. Okay, fine. He's an asshole, but like, mind your business. Like she's sitting there looking at his phone. What is that this day and age? Like, I don't look at people's phones when they're texting. Like, and then she has the nerve to get upset and hurt and triggered because she had her face in this man's phone. Mind your business. Like, that's what I'm talking about with the mind your business thing. I'm not saying don't help people on the street if you see someone in need. But my point is, heroes, they run to the danger. Like my dad always, like, run into the danger. Not everybody's a hero. I say I'm a healer, not a hero. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody wants to step into that role. Like, if I see the danger, I'll call for help. But like I said, I'm not the hero. I'm a healer, not a hero. There's a difference. It's okay to not everybody has to be a hero. It takes a lot to do that. I'll help you get your earpiece out from underneath the car, but I'm not pulling you out of a fire. I'm not a firefighter. Although, let me tell you, if my dog is in the house, I'm running in there barefoot. So I guess there's hero in me somewhere. But again, like I said, healer, not a hero. But it's okay, not everybody's a hero. That's why we have heroes, and that's why I respect them, and that's why I give them the shiny crystal of the week. Thank you to our heroes. Thank you to those people who feel born to put their life on the line, who feel born to run towards the danger. That's incredible. That's so commendable, and you're a hero for that, and we thank you, and keep on doing what you're doing. And if you're a cute firefighter boy, an earth sign, preferably. A water sign I can do, a well-adjusted water sign, a Cancer, possibly a Pisces. Scorpio, if you came from a good family, but maybe a Leo. No Sagittarius firefighter. Sorry, don't want it. I don't need just your nasty mouth. Unless you have maybe like a Taurus moon or a Capricorn rising or a Virgo rising or maybe a Pisces moon, because I'm a Pisces moon, so we could suffer together. But yeah, anyway. Cute boys, hit me up. All right. Let's go to our movie astrology today. So movie astrology, because of in honor of Wicked, the release of Wicked, which I love Wicked. Wicked for Good is out. Ariana, Cynthia, what's the boy, the straight boy, the gay boy that's in it, Bailey, Jonathan Bailey, all of them, fabulous cast. I saw Wicked Part 1 or Wicked, the first act, so good. So I decided to do Wizard of Oz because Wicked, I don't know. I'm doing Wizard of Oz because Wizard of Oz is the OG. So Wizard of Oz astrology. So let's start with Dorothy. Dorothy, for me, my first feeling is Capricorn. Like, I feel like she's a Capricorn girl because Dorothy, actually, I feel like she's maybe like a Libra with Capricorn moon because she's kind of shady. Like, she gets all in the drama. She's running around with someone else's red slippers on. They ain't even hers. She's like, she got herself into this mess. Okay. I know she banged her head but she should have been listening to Annie M, and she shouldn't have been out in that hurricane. So she is definitely a Libra. Got herself in trouble. She got all the boys, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Lion. She got all cute boys dancing down the aisle with her. She's snatched. She's pretty, just like a Libra girl. But she's got that Capricorn moon because she's so grounded. Okay. And she is kind of Libra. She's like, oh my God, little old me. How did I get here? Oh my God, that's a house on that bitch. Like, yeah, it's such a Libra girl. Like, all this drama around her. And she's like, how do I get home? Like such a Libra girl. And then, of course, we have the Wicked Witch, Elphaba. I've probably been saying it wrong, Elphaba, forever. I would say, I feel like the Wicked Witch, I feel like Elphaba I feel like she's a Cancer. She's such a Cancer because she's so misunderstood. She's got all this talent, all this power, and she doesn't know what to do with it. But she's got all this love inside of her, and she sings with such a passion, and she's so emotional and so sensitive, and she's so cranky, and she's so cranky. She's such a Cancer. And then Glinda, the Good Witch, I would say Glinda is, I feel like Glinda is giving me maybe Taurus vibes because she's so understated and just, well, no, I mean, she comes out in a bubble, so I don't know if that's understated, but that is Taurus though. Grand entrance, aesthetics, she's coming down in that bubble, doing her thing. Although she's kind of shady, Glinda, and I don't think Tauruses are shady. I feel like Tauruses are, you see what you see is what you get. So I feel like because Glinda is a little bit shady, I feel like maybe Glinda, you know what? Oh my God, Glinda's such a Gemini, actually. Gemini girl. She is so Gemini because you just don't know. Hold on, Gemini. You just don't know where she's at. She's like, 1 minute she's in the bubble. Next minute she's dancing with the dwarves. Next minute she's like, because she's just all over the place. And she's like up to no good. She's like, get those slippers. Here you go. She put the slippers on Dorothy. Yeah, she is such a Gemini. And then the Lion. So the Lion is cowardly. Well, he's so scared. He's so scared. He's a Pisces. You would think he's a Leo, but he's not. Not this Lion. This Lion's a Pisces. He's scared. He's nervous. He doesn't want to try new things. Such a Pisces guy. And then Scarecrow, he's stupid, right? So let's see. Scarecrow's stupid. I feel like, I mean, not all, you can't say any of the sons are really like stupid, but like Scarecrow, you know what it is with Scarecrow? He's charming, but he doesn't like really know. He doesn't know a lot. I'm trying not to be shady when I say it, you know, like I'm not trying to throw shade at any sign, but I would say, I feel like maybe he's an Aries man, not an Aries woman, because Aries women, they know shit, but Aries men, they think they know things, but they don't. So they kind of like, hold on. And they're always, yeah, I think maybe an Aries. No shade to any Aries that I know. I'm not saying it for that reason, because I know some Aries that are brilliant geniuses. But the main Aries vibe a lot of times is like they're running their mouth a lot. They have that like just speaking before they really think it out, or like listen. They don't listen well. So I feel like he could be that. And then the Tin Man, he's got no heart. So Tin Man has no heart. So I'm going to say, no shade, Jay, but Capricorn. Capricorn men sometimes just they're a little cold. Like, you know, they're givers, they're this, they're that, they can take care, but they don't really, I wouldn't have the biggest hearts. So sorry, Tin Man. Capricorn, you know, they're just kind of like tin, you know, like they need a little oil. Sometimes they're a little stiff too, Capricorns, right? So Tin Man, definitely a Capricorn man. You know, solid, but a little stiff, and he needs to find his heart. So there you go. All right, cool. And then we're going to go with our next segment, Oh Wise One. So people have really been liking this segment. I got a bunch of submissions for it. So let's go with it. Oh Wise One.
Hi, Thomas. I have a question for your Oh Wise One segment. I have thought a lot about the afterlife and reincarnation, and I believe in reincarnation. I definitely believe in souls in a spiritual world, for sure. But I guess my question is more around the reincarnation aspect, and if we have souls that watch over us and are in the ether, if you will, but then they get reincarnated, do they just go away? I guess, how do we keep connections with our ancestors if they're then being reincarnated back? Do we lose that connection? I'm not sure if any of this makes sense. I hope it does.
All right. Well, that's actually a great question. I have the answer to that. I've actually talked to many people about this in readings with people. They've asked that kind of question. This is what I intuitively feel and what I feel like I've experienced through doing readings or just being connected to spirit. So the thing about reincarnation, it doesn't happen as much as you would think. Like, it's not just an automatic, like you pass away and then you go in spirit and then you come back. Like, that's not it at all. Not every soul. Most souls don't reincarnate, especially like in the lifetime that, you know, you would be alive. So the way I have explained it in the past to other people is that a spirit can do one of three things. One, which is what most of them do, is they're around. They're like angels, basically. They're not actual angels because there are angels is like a hierarchy or something, like it's selected souls, but they're like spirit guides, we would call them, or just hanging around the family or being in spirit, you know, watching you do things or, you know, pushing you the right direction or whispering in your ear or just giving you certain like support. So most spirits do that. Like they're just around us, like our past loved ones, our animals. They're just there. They're with us. Actually, now that I said the animals things, I bet you a lot of animals reincarnate more than humans, which is why humans come through in readings most of the time rather than animals. Like you have to try to find the animal, or sometimes they just pop up randomly. That's actually something to think about. But anyway, so yeah, they do that thing where they're just hanging out around, like, again, they're not just like sitting on the couch, like they're energy. So they could be in 5 different places at once. They're not just with one person. Or they can go into the universe, literally back to the light. The light is what people call God, the energy, that warm white light, that spark that basically all souls come from. We are all energy. We are all that light, which is basically what people call God. That's why we're all the children of God, all that stuff, because it's the light. That's what our soul is. Or it can reincarnate, literally. Like it can come back into another form. It could be a person. It could be an animal. It could be a rock. It could be a tree if it wants to experience that for hundreds of years. Or it can go in the tree and out of the tree. Like it can take the form of the tree. Like it can go in it, experience it, because it's just energy. It just goes in and out. But reincarnation, I believe, probably and again, this percentage I'm going to say is just, not an actual, this is the percentage, but I would say it's probably 2%, 1% of people would reincarnate. And if they do reincarnate, they would probably do it in 100 human years or over that time. So we wouldn't even be here to experience it. So most of the people are still just in the ether. Like you said, that's a great word. So yeah, that's how I explain that. That's how it makes sense to me. That's what I feel. Most spirits, most souls, most energies are not reincarnating right away or choosing not to reincarnate at all. Or they're waiting, like I said, I think the biggest thing is it's most likely they're not reincarnating right away. So therefore you can still connect to them in spirit because in your lifetime, they're still a soul. And then they would maybe reincarnate in 100 years or 200 years. But it's not but there will be some souls that literally boom, and they can come right back. They could be the niece or nephew of someone in your family, but that's rare. But I don't think it does happen. It doesn't not happen, but it's very rare. Probably the 1%. So I hope that makes sense to you, because as I was saying it more, and the more I speak about it, the more it makes sense to me. But that's my intuitive feeling about it through experience and just knowing. So thank you for that one. That was a good one. All right, Noelle, if you have a wise one question, please send it to the Crusty Crystals podcast DM or Thomas Dale 5 on Instagram. Both of those are on Instagram. All right. So our sponsor, Christine Louisi. You got to get your gift cards to get facials for the holidays. Collective Beauty Skincare Studio. The link is in the bio. Love her. I'm going to her in a couple of weeks. So maybe not the next episode, but the episode after that at the end of the month, you'll see my eyebrows. They're not done yet because I haven't been to her. But mention Crusty Crystals and you'll get 25% off. Gift cards, that's a great gift for a facial, for laser. I think she does laser hair, but I know she does eyebrows, facials. It's fabulous. Such a cute, quaint place. Parking is so easy, which was such a main thing for me. So Christine Louisi at Collective Beauty Skincare Studio. We love you, and go visit her in Malvern. All right, guys. So we are on to our voice note astrology. Let's take a listen.
Hi, Thomas. I have been thoroughly enjoying your podcast, and I don't miss a week. I was curious about my big 3 and my son's big 3. I am a Taurus sun, 0 degree, so I'm my Aries Taurus cusp, and I am a Taurus moon, and I am a Leo rising. My son is a Leo sun, a Pisces moon, and a Scorpio rising. He is 29 years old, and we've always been very close, and it's just feeling a little bit right now. There's a pull. He's married, has his own family, and I'm just wanting to continue the closeness we have, and wanting to make sure I'm doing my part as a empty nester mom to continue being supportive for him as his family. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for that. That was great. All right. Well, it's so funny when you said about him having the Pisces moon. I have just gone back to when I had said about the firefighter And I was saying, no, maybe a Pisces moon so we could suffer together. So, but he's already married, your son, so and probably to a woman. All right. Anyway, so you are a Taurus, and Leo rising, double Earth. Taurus, man. That's first of all, I'm a sun sign Taurus. Love our Tauruses. Tauruses really are just like top tier, and I really appreciate most Tauruses. But double Taurus is double anything, I think, is probably rough. But with that rising Leo, you get shit done, honey. You get shit done with that double Taurus and Leo. And then your son, him being a Leo and a Pisces moon and then rising Scorpio, gosh, he was all the emotions. Because even Leos are such like, they get butt hurt and they're so sensitive and you are like, so, I mean, you can be emotional, but it's like, for me, what I'm feeling is you've always been a very probably like solid ground for him. That's what I hear right now. I hear in my head, he'll always need you. He will always need you. You're his rock. You're his leader. You're his person. So even, I bet you his wife, assuming it's a wife, I'm feeling like it's a wife, I bet you she is a leader. I bet you she's a strong force because he needs that. And you provided that for him. But he'll always need you because you've always been that rock for him. So I would say just keep doing what you're doing. And maybe like, so I am also getting this hit right now about, and message me about this. If I think you maybe have to make sure that you're not doing anything competitively with his partner, his spouse, his mushalin, you know? I think make sure that like, you know, you're sharing the strong force energy, or don't feel like you're being replaced because she is also that strong force. It's just what he's going to always be attracted to because you were the female figure in his life and you are a strong, steady force, which you'll always be. He'll always need that, but he may have found that in his partner, which is good. I would say share it. Share the spotlight. Share it. Don't get insecure about it, or which I don't think you are as a Taurus, Leo. But yeah, don't feel like you have to own your territory or your mark. You've made your mark, you know, like that's instilled in him. It's not going anywhere. It's never going to go anywhere. It's always going to be there. So I would say you just got to keep doing what you've always done. Do what you've always done because it's not going to go anywhere. No matter how strong his partner is, no matter how leader his partner is, doesn't matter. You're his main one. You're his OG. It's instilled. So don't fear that. That's the feeling I'm feeling deep in me. Let it be. You're going to be fine. Just remember hearing me say it's always going to be there in him, you. So you have nothing to worry about. Just keep doing what you're doing, okay? All right, my loves. Yeah, message me. Tell me if that resonated there. All right, well, final thought. It's a short episode today, I think, because, you know, I'm just like, I'm in that winter vibe. I'm trying to like transition into it. I'm trying to like get my bearings. I've been eating like shit. I got to be honest with you. I've been eating like crap. I think it's that winter energy, you know, like you just want to like, and I have insulin resistance. So the insulin resistance is giving me cravings. So luckily for readings, because I don't eat sugar before readings, but let me tell you, at night I'm going in. After I'm done working, I'm going in. I'm eating too much sugar, and at nighttime I feel like, so I got to work on that. Okay, I got to work on that. That's one of my things. And now the holidays are coming. Oh my goodness, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. That's what I'm like. Should I wait? And then I got the fatty liver. It's life. Being a human, it's really something, you know. It really is. I would say don't beat yourselves up, because I beat myself up, you know, like when I'm not, I want to go on this journey of pure cleanliness, of pure not eating, you know, energetically intense foods or staying away from sugar. I know I always talk about this sugar thing. My moon's in Pisces. I love sugar, and I'm a Taurus. We love to eat. I love food. I'm pleading with the universe. Like, help me, well, no, be careful what you ask for. because I was like, I'm going to ask the universe for strength, but you don't want strength because then sometimes the universe gives it to you in a way that you don't want it. So I will say, I will handle this. I got the message. I will deal with it. I will take care of my food, my diet, myself without having I don't need the universe to push me. Okay? That's what I want to say. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you all are winding up for the holidays. Say hi to me. I'm loving. Hello to the new John. Hello to the new people. Hello to the people who've reached out to me and told me that, what something touched one of my listeners, one of my episodes. And I love hearing that stuff. So like I said, it doesn't end here, like when you just watch or when you communicate with me, I love it. That's all part of this whole experience, that's why I'm putting this out there. So here we are. Say hi, follow us on all the socials, share the podcast, tell people about the podcast. And, let's keep going. All right. Love yous. Bye.